Welcome to Terrorism and Politics Today. I am your host, Stephen Kefas. With me in the studio today is Mr. George Makiri. Welcome, Mr. George.
Thank you very much.
Today, we'll be looking at some developing story across Nigeria with regards to insecurity. We will be looking at a statement signed by the Jama'at Nasirul Islam, JNI. JNI is a group headed by the Sultan of Sokoto. They issued a statement yesterday, and we'll be looking at the statement critically. Also, we'll be looking at the issue concerning Amotekun, the Southwest security outfit created to help ensure security of lives and property in the Southwest. There've been clamor, or rather pressure, from the federal government that Amoteku will have to be subjugated under the Nigerian police and under the command of the IGP, Inspector General of Police. Meanwhile, leaders in the Southwest are saying no to this attempt. Mr. George, you are welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steve.
You see, there are issues going on in this country. So today, I will be seeking your view on some of these issues. The statement signed by the Jamal Nasirul Islam, let me read it here. The first paragraph said, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar-led Jama'atu Nasirul Islam, JNI, has said that unguarded utterances of some citizens, including elder statement, whom it said were making economic fortune out of the Southern Kaduna crisis, were making peace difficult in the region. Mr. George, now, same allegation the governor made 2 weeks ago, where he alleged that Southern Kaduna elders are making fortune out of this crisis. What can you say about the statement from the Jamal Nasirul Islam?
Mr. Kefas, I am happy you were able to remember that that allegation was made by the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasiru Erufai. And Nigerians were able to come to realize that the governor of Kaduna State is actually not interested in bringing an end to the killings of Southern Kaduna people. Because, like I mentioned in our last outing on this same program, I spoke about an agenda. Now, with JNI coming to reiterate the statement of a hater of Southern Kaduna, which is Malam Nasiru Erufai, because he's not even hiding his hatred. And all rational Nigerians could see very clearly. For JNI to come out and reiterate his statement about elders from Southern Kaduna receiving money, kind of that brown envelope that Erufai spoke about, as the reason why the crisis is lingering, tells you about that agenda, tells you about that conspiracy. And I tell you this, Mr. Kefas, there were massive massacres of Southern Kaduna people ongoing ever since the governor Erufai came to power. In 2016, we had one of the most bizarre massacre around Godogodo Aziz. The then president of Sokapu, Solomon Musa, called the Kaduna state government when he received a distress call. But he was given deaf ears. It took several hours before any help was able to get to Godogodo that time, around 72 hours thereabout. And even with the presence of security, there were still massacres going on because the security presence only even helped to increase the momentum in the massacres.
What do you mean by the security presence helped to increase the momentum of the massacre?
Thank you very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Kefas. You see, I don't want to digress from the original question, which you're asking me, what do I have to say about the statement of the Jamaat Nasir Islam? I want to also inform you, in case you don't know, that after the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, disinvited the governor of Kaduna State for reasons not far away from the reasons pertaining to insecurity in southern Kaduna. For the first time, the Sultan of Sokoto found his way to Kashim Ibrahim House to go and sympathize with the governor for being disinvited. Post Emir of Kano found his way to Kashim Ibrahim House, Kaduna State, to go and sympathize. Whatever it is that they said led them to Kashim Ibrahim House, they went there after the disinvitation. When they knew that man, that's the occupant of Kashim Ibrahim House, was crying, sort of. Because he began to cry immediately. He was kicked out. The response from Jigawa and the counter response there tells you that he started crying much earlier. The statement from Adekeye Muyiwa tells you he was crying. And they went there to sympathize with him. But these are the same people who never went there to talk when southern Kaduna was facing the barrels, was facing the edge of the knives. So many people were killed. JNI has never said anything. They are not interested in the security of southern Kaduna people. So JNI cannot tell us who is trying to sustain the massacre because they are making economic fortunes. What was JNI doing all this while that people are being massacred in southern Kaduna? They have never said anything. They have never condemned the massacres. Now all of a sudden JNI is talking about how to bring an end to the crisis. All of a sudden JNI is telling us that it's the people who are the elders of southern Kaduna on guided utterances that is prolonging the crisis. This crisis since 2016, continually to this very year, 2020, 4 years on, with almost daily killings, and JNI never found his voice until after a governor was disinvited by a Nigerian Bar Association.
Wow. Thank you for your insight on this issue. Now, also, we are still on the statement signed by the JNI. They also said that some interest group cried wolf than the bereaved in the present circumstances, and thus the need for government to quickly act before such interest group exacerbates the already precarious situation that could jeopardize the frantic effort aimed at restoring peace, law and order through dialogue and commitment for peace with all relevant stakeholders in the state. Now, I don't know, but do you think that the JNI are referring to people that are not from southern Kaduna that are lending their voices against the daily killings?
This is a kind of a terrorist threat. This is terrorism.
Wow, how?
I tell you how. JNI, from this particular paragraph, is not interested in bringing an end to the situation in southern Kaduna. Okay. They are only interested in scuttling voices of dissent against the killing. This statement, this particular paragraph, is only interested in terrorizing, cowering, getting the people, threatening those people who are not from southern Kaduna, who are saying this killings is enough. It has to stop. These are the people JNI is targeting with this statement. JNI is trying to use a statement to get people who are sympathizing with the victims of this carnage, this unending carnage that is being tacitly, overtly and covertly supported by the Kaduna state government, and now with the help of JNI. Those are the people that this particular statement is targeting. It is targeting these people, getting them to feel that, oh, maybe we're too concerned, maybe we're more worried than even the people who have been killed. So, of course, we have to stop before they come and arrest us. So it is a threat. It's a terrorist threat, if you ask me. And that tells you about the agenda I was talking about. This, more than anything, is a confirmation of the agenda that there is a grand design to annihilate the people of southern Kaduna and repopulate their locations with fresh population.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. George. Now, also, Mr. George, talking about the Peace Commission set up by the Kaduna State government in 2016, August to be precise. I have been to communities that are currently under sustained attack in southern Kaduna. And what I saw is more of an asymmetric warfare, because this armed group come into communities, attack and retreat back to their base. It doesn't look like there's a clash or there's a crisis. What is your view? Is it true that what is happening in southern Kaduna is a clash between an ethnic group and another ethnic group? Because what I saw during my visit is different from what the government wants us to believe.
You see, like I said earlier, there has been an agenda, a long-aged agenda. And that was why the killings of 2016 is spilling over to 2020, and perhaps even into 2023, 2000 and thereafter. And this is because there are certain elements who are not actually interested in the peace and stability of Nigeria. Their basic interest is how to take over the whole of this country for Islam. And it's not as if maybe when they even take over the whole country for Islam, they are going to maintain law and order. Because with extremists here and there, fundamentalists here and there, I can assure you, different sheikhs will give different fatwas.
Fatwa? What do you mean by fatwa?
Yeah, because look at Yemen. Look at Somalia. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Iraq. Most countries that are 99% Muslims are still not at peace.
Wow.
The reason is simple. Different people have different interpretation when it comes to dealing with issues that has to do with violating some of the laws. The Sharia law, for instance. And that's what they want to entrench in this country. That is what they are all after. And now they cannot do it in the normal, even when Ahmedu Bello was holding sway, he was able to do it even without killing people. But these ones here don't have ideas. They have to kill. And that is what they are doing. And that is the agenda that is causing the sustenance of this violence. If today the Sultan of Sokoto will come out and identify the problem in southern Kaduna and tell all Muslims to embrace peace and tell them it is not proper to kill Christians. If today the governor of Kaduna will come out and say, look, we are all brothers in this state and we must not kill each other. If today the resources of the federal government will be channeled towards genuine peace building, I'm not talking about jihadic peace building. All this talk they're talking about peace and what have you is peace of the jungle. And you know what the peace of the jungle is?
No.
Fine, I tell you. If a predator is going after its prey, within the period of running for the prey, there is no peace. The grasses suffer. The only time the peace will come is when the predator swallows the prey.
Wow.
That is the peace of the jungle. That is the peace these people are talking about. That's the peace J&I is talking about. J&I is talking about a peace that will allow the killers to kill everybody in southern Kaduna. It's talking about a peace that will make it impossible for anybody outside southern Kaduna to criticize the killings in southern Kaduna.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. George.